Okay, in this video, let's take a look at building out a financial report. So I'm going to navigate to the reports module and I'm going to click into financial reports, and you can edit on an existing one, but I am going to click add here, and you'll see that there are several tabs in your financial report writer. So we're going to split this out into a couple of different videos, but just for this particular episode, we're going to focus on report info and rows. So we do need to give the report a name. I'm just going to call it test. And then report type and report audience, we've already seen that. That's just a filter that you can put on your report. If you have those in the system and you drop it down, you'll be able to see what you've already created, and you can put that tag on your report to make it easier to filter out. Automatically, this report is active is checked off. If you at any point want to come in and turn off a report, make it inactive, then you would just uncheck that button. And then your report structure is either going to be based off of accounts or dimensions. So this is what's going to appear on the rows of your report. So if you're selecting accounts as your rows, then that is based off of account groups. And if you're selecting dimensions as your report structure, you do have to have a dimension structure set up before you can do that. So we've seen this already in one of our previous episodes, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to go with an accounts report structure. So moving on then to my rows, it is asking me to select my account group. If I go back and I choose dimensions and I look at the rows column, it's going to ask me to select my dimension structure. So you do have to have those set up previously. And with accounts and account groups, there are several that come out of the box. So let's say you're creating some sort of a profit and loss report and you want to select account group. There is a net income account group that comes out of the box that you can include in the report. And then, you could tweak that. So we're going to say, okay. And it's going to show me all of the accounts that roll up into net income. So each of these like little indents here is a different account group. These are the accounts that make up that account group. So income taxes is an account group, other expenses an account group, other income is an account group, other expense and other income makes up other income in brackets expense, different things like that. That all rolls up into gross profit, which rolls up into income loss before provision for income taxes, which rolls up into net income. So what we can do is we can use these little minuses to condense what we see then on our report detail-wise. So you can do it just like this by saying, we're going to hide all the revenue. We're going to just show revenue as one line. Or do we want to show revenue like each one of these accounts broken out? Also let's say in your expenses, other expense, we can make that smaller. We don't want to break that out. Or do we want to show a separate line for interest, partner expenses, other expenses? In this detail level column, you can say set detail level, and you can say summary hide accounts. So it's just giving you a summary, or do you want to have the actual detail on it? So you can do it, from the top, or you can go by each different group. So we can do summary on some of them and not others. So that's something that you could play around with depending on how you want that to look on your report. So on this basis for amounts column, you can override the basis for amounts on the account group. So each account group is built and they have a default basis for amount, but you can decide for a particular report that you want to override that. So usually you're going to default from group because you want to make sure that they're pulling in correctly. For example, account groups that have income or expense accounts are usually calculated for the period. You also have end of period, which is for like non-budget balance sheet accounts. And then you also have start of period. So there are your different options here for the period, start of period, end of period. But most people are going to just choose to default from group instead of messing around with that. And then here on your always display, This is basically just for your accounts that do not have any data. Do you want them to still show? So if there's a zero balance in them and you still want them to show, you would say always display all or none, whatever you choose. So that's your report info tab and your rows tab. And in the next video, we're going to take a look at our columns.